Hello. We are live. Hello, family. How are y'all?
What what I've been saying to everybody recently?
What's
I don't
that?
think I did it to you yet, but every time somebody calls me now or I call somebody, I'm like, what it do though?
What it do though? What?
Because
Uh,
I'm like, all this stupid stuff these little kids are saying nowadays. I don't reach the auntie stage now. I don't know what the hell that is. So we going back to the old school stuff,
right.
but what it do?
Right.
Because all this
Right.
67, I have
I
watched
know
so many
what that
parents ask their
means.
kids, and the kids can't
What
even
does
tell what it means.
what does that mean?
The, I have watched so many parents ask their kids, and the kids can't tell them what it means. I'm like, no, I'm good.
They can't or won't.
I don't know. I don't think they know how to explain it. I think somebody said it and somebody else heard it. And as things happen, everybody started repeating it. But from what I gather, nobody actually knows what it's supposed to mean. It's just now it's cool because everybody's saying it. And I'm like, that's the dumbest shit.
That's the dumbest
So
shit ever.
so I went back to the old school that I know what it do though. Okay.
That part. I
Or
was just
or
like, man,
We're like, whoa. I saw this I think it was either IG or TikTok. I don't know. But this dude made a little reel with the
hmm
who was it that I think it was Nas. Don't beat me up if I'm wrong, y'all, but I think it was a Nas song, like and he was breaking down like whoa, what whoa means.
Oh
And
yeah.
and I was like,
But
see, that stuff made sense. We knew exactly what it meant, or John, or like, but I don't know. I
all
don't
this
reach.
other stuff, I just and some of it, like I said before, these kids sometimes they don't know what it means. They just think think it sounds cool, or what it means in this neighborhood is not what it means in this neighborhood, and it's not what it meant when they originally started it.
Right. Well, and the
Yeah.
thing is, like, I remember I'm 46. So this has been at least 26 years ago or longer. I remember my little cousin being like John, JAWN, John, right? And recently, within the last 5 to 10 years, I've heard people saying that it's a new word. And I'm like, but I was hearing that 30 years ago. And then I heard somebody
That's
say,
a
well,
DC term.
well, that's what I was going to say. I heard some people say it originated in DC and Philadelphia. He ain't never lived in now one of them places. And we didn't have social media back then, right? So I think that it's a word that, here's where I'm going with this. And it's going to tie into tonight's topic about rituals. I think that because
hmm
we're all spirit in these bodies and we're always all connected, that different people around the world can get different things that tie into the same thought process. This is why different people can get the same idea and be like, damn, I didn't act on it. And somebody a year later pop up and do it, but they ain't never talked to you and you never told anybody about it, right?
Right.
So, so yeah, John and hey, Sean. uh,
Hey, what's going on?
yeah, we just talking about. I said I was in my auntie stage, so like the little kids saying 67 and don't nobody know what the hell it means. So I've been pranking on my friends, and every time they call me or I call them, I'm like, "What it do though?" Because we ain't got time to be sounding like these little teeny bop ass kids. We grown as hell, and we at auntie and uncle stage of life now. So
But you gotta stay connected to the streets though.
No,
no,
I don't.
I don't want to everybody explaining.
I mean,
Wait,
No,
but
I don't.
how you gonna know what somebody's talking about if you don't know what they talking about?
Listen, if
I
it's
know what
in
they're talking
that
about when
language
it's
that's
relevant to me.
absolutely if it's in that language that's below my kids' ages, I don't need to know.
I know what
That's
they're talking about when it's
that's
relevant to me.
that's pedophilish. That's pedophilish to worry about what they talking about way down there.
Right. I'm
Uh,
like, it don't matter.
I am
I
not
mean,
Epstein.
I mean that
Oh,
that 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 right there is a
Trump.
crazy thing.
Oh,
That's a crazy take, but okay.
hold on one second. Omar said, "Hey, where
Hello,
are you from,
Omar.
dear ladies?" And he said, "The woman who made the vow. Are you married? What vow? What are you talking
What
about?
vow? What are you
Did
talking
I miss
about?
part of the conversation? I don't know. But anyway, I'm in auntie stage now. Now I'm working on the rich auntie part because yeah, we're gonna leave legacy behind. Okay, so I'm working on the rich auntie part.
Rich auntie part, but ain't got to leave shit behind because you get your own. I'm be flexing.
I'm gonna let you be Grinchy. I, on the other hand, am planning on leaving some shit behind. Now I'm gonna live good while I'm here. I'm not one of them people that says I gotta sacrifice while I'm here so I can leave everything behind. I'm going to live well
That.
and because it
Yeah,
doesn't have to be either or,
there's
right?
that. There's that part. I'm gonna live well and you get what's left.
Right. I'm gonna live well and I'm going to leave wealth behind. For me, it's not an either or. It's an and.
I
That being
did.
Not
I
for
said,
sure.
y'all,
and I said,
not for
and
trying.
you
See,
get
Sean,
what's
get what I'm
left.
saying. Gypsy over here being grinchy as fuck. By the way, I just want to give a shout out because we're fucking
Whatever.
amazing. Let me tell you something. We're amazing.
Absolutely.
And I saw this dude, what's his name? Nick Darnell. I didn't know that the Grinch that's at Disney Resort or whatever right now is a black guy, Nick Darnell. Y'all look him up on TikTok. Now, y'all know I don't be shouting out folks who doing all that other kind of stuff, but
Right.
I love us. I
Yes.
love us. And when I see somebody that seems to genuinely love what they do and just, you know what I'm saying, living their best life and creating greatness,
Mhm.
living in their zone of genius. And I just randomly saw this video when I popped on TikTok today. And so then I was like, well, who is this dude? So I went searching and I saw all these videos where he be getting down, he be dancing with the people. Like
What?
I'm talking about doing his thing. Do you know? So if you get a chance, look up the Grinch, Nick Darnell on TikTok and watch him. Black creator, fucking amazing. Anyway, back on track.
And you
Uh,
know the new CEO of Red Lobster, he trying to do his thing over there. They got a lot. They got seafood boils and stuff now. He's really
okay,
like he's first of all he's young and he's
okay,
black. He's probably I think he's below 35.
nice,
And yes, and he brought them back from the brink of bankruptcy.
okay.
But he figured out what works like because let's just face it, it's not it's not a oceans type seafood restaurant, but it's still a seafood restaurant. And
Mm-hmm.
seafood is expensive, but Red Lobster is a staple that has been around for I know at least 40 years cuz I remember going there after Snow White on ice when I was like 9 years old, one of the rare times we were in the States in the winter time.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was growing up, I was living overseas most of the time. So I remember going to Red Lobster after that. I mean, but
Okay.
that was when we also dressed up to go everywhere. Like Sean Duffy has a point. We used to dress up to get on the plane.
Yeah.
We
Well,
used
I
to
mean
dress up
that
to get on the
that
plane.
was that was how we dressed. Period. It wasn't that we dressed up. We dressed. We
yeah, I
always
was gonna
dressed.
say, I think we as a culture, that's like when you look back through a lot of
Yeah,
our
but
history and photographic memories, that's how
yeah.
we were raised.
All right. So let me put you
So
on some game.
when did we get
Let
into
me
bonnets and pajamas?
let me put you on some. Well, that's been going on forever. 'Cause I remember back when I
In
was in
public?
college. I remember back when I was in college, girls used to show up to class, that early morning class, and they bonnet in pajamas. I'm like, what the? But anyway, I'm gonna put y'all on some games. So if y'all haven't noticed, this whole quarter zip movement,
The
Who?
what?
a quarter zip movement. That's why I said put y'all on some games because y'all don't know
Oh,
what's going
oh,
on.
the Carlton era. They're trying to go back to the Carlton era. Yes, quarter zip is the Carlton era. If for those that don't know, the quarter zips was in place of the sweatshirts, the hoodies, and Nikes and stuff. The quarter zips let you know you had some culture and some money about you.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's a whole movement now that these young boys is like F being a YN. Let me join the quarter zip game. You
Right.
know what I'm
Because
saying? And so
why?
that's
Mhm.
that's cool. I appreciate that because quarter zip, man.
Right.
Look, you don't feel like putting a button up on, throw a nice quarter zip on. Boom, bam. some
Mm-hmm.
slacks, you good to go. And now
Listen,
this 6'7" thing,
what is that?
when it first
Tell us,
started,
Don.
when it first started, it just meant you was a hoe. Now
What?
What?
I don't
Wait,
know what
what
it
does
was.
6'7" mean?
Hold
Oh,
on, wait, slow down. I'm explaining it,
okay.
but I don't know what what it's evolved to. But the reason why is because these young cats think they smart and they think they smarter than everybody. If you look up the periodic table and the element 67, it's
Mm-hmm.
called honium. Honium, and
Wait,
and you
Oh,
wait.
and you know how they abbreviate everything with two letters, so its abbreviation is
Right.
Ho.
right.
But they think because don't nobody know nothing, they ain't gonna know what we talk about when you say, "Oh,
Oh
you think you
wow.
67?"
Well, tell them we got one up on them because when we had beepers, you was the 703, bitch. Yeah, when you turned it upside down, you was a hoe.
Listen, Linda,
How
listen.
it
My
came
God,
across.
today.
No, wait. Not 703, 403. Because when you turn upside down, it says hoe.
It's,
So
Think about it. When you turn the beeper upside down, that's what it said. It said hoe. That's how we
mhm.
used to cuss people out when we had beepers.
I
well,
remember the beepers and the
it's
calculators and all
three,
that.
it's
Yeah.
three, it's 304 actually, 304. So when you turn it upside
Oh,
down,
that's right.
I
yeah.
don't remember the numbers because I wasn't doing it, but I remember the era.
I
Yes.
mean, that's still a term that's still used today. You go get your 304. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've heard it. Mm.
I'm just saying. So that was some game. I just had to put y'all up on so y'all knew what's going on.
See, that's
You
what
gotta
keeps
keep
you
it.
around,
You,
Sean. You
you
hyper
gotta keep.
I know. Philly
You gotta
keep his
keep it.
ears to the street.
You got to, man, because you gotta know what's going on. You can't be sitting there and some cat sitting there talking about something you don't know what they talking about. Next thing you know, they robbing the store. If you know what they talking about, you're like, oh, let me go ahead and get up out of here because they about to rob this place.
You see, that's why you always learn how to read body language and you pay attention to the whole context of the situation that's happening. I
Correct.
may not always understand what the fuck you were saying, but I understand body language and I understand when y'all sending signals and looking at each other and doing hand signals that you think don't nobody. We ain't crazy. Now, one thing about it, we may not know all the
Like you
terms,
could be in the middle of two people speak.
but
Right.
we ain't crazy.
That's like being in the middle of people speaking another language. Like for
Right,
example, those Americans who decide that they don't want to learn another language and want to force everybody to learn English, you could be sitting in the middle of people who, especially those that speak 4 and 5 languages,
right.
and they're talking about you and laughing about you while you are sitting right there. And then when you ask them what they said, because you don't speak the language they're speaking, they'll tell you anything and then laugh about that.
Yeah, but that's why you use you know services. They ain't paying us. So I ain't gonna name them, but you learn other languages so that way you can sit there and like, oh, okay, and act like they ain't, you don't know what they saying, and then when you leaving and you give them a shitty ass tip, and you be like,
Exactly.
yeah, because remember when you said X Y Z, they gonna look at you like, oh shit, they knew what I was
Well, for
talking about.
one, that's why you use your phone. I was just telling my friend this yesterday. Like, wherever you at, we got Translate on our phones now. So, number one, you should be tapping into that. But number two, if you don't know what's going on, hop on Google, open up that little recorder and record it, and then let Google translate it for you. Because one thing we ain't gonna never do is be caught slipping or stupid.
You ain't even
And
gotta do
again,
that. You ain't even
and
gotta do that.
body language. Even if you don't know what somebody's saying in their language, if you learn how to communicate non-verbally, which we all should be learning, right? It's not taught in school, but you should be finding ways to
They
educate yourself.
don't learn that anymore because they like this all the time.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not taught in school, period. But if you
Hmm.
are wanting to be a well-rounded human being and eventually an adult, these are things that you should be immersing yourself in. And go back to what you were saying, Sean. You was going to say you don't have to do that. There's another way.
Yeah, they make earbuds that automatically
They sure
translate
do.
for you.
I've
You just
heard.
yeah,
They
you
I've
just
do.
heard.
put them in, they translate for you. So
I've
yeah.
heard that too. Yeah.
Hmm.
But
But
at the
you,
end of the day, pay attention. Like you
But
know
there are
when
some people
somebody's
that
sitting
are
there
so
looking at
oblivious.
somebody else across the room and
Right.
making eye contact and looking around and moving their
Right.
head. No, I'm out. That's why I even to this day it's so ingrained in me. I don't even think about it anymore. When I'm in public places, I'm always looking for the exits. I can tell you most of the time how many exits are in a place. I pay attention to who's moving around. And you moving too much, I want to know why you moving off. What the fuck are you doing? If you looking itchy and scratchy, I want to.
Head
I'm
on
paying
a
attention.
swivel.
She said itchy
Head
and
on a swivel.
scratchy.
And I do not sit with my door to the back unless I'm with my man.
Right.
The only way I will sit with my door to the back is if he's with me so he can face the door, because I understand respect, leadership, and all that. That's fine. But outside of that, I don't sit with my door to the back. And I mean, my back to the door, because again, I may not always understand what you're saying, but I pays attention, right? We can't, and I've been guilty of it. We can't be so oblivious and
Right.
so relaxed that we don't pay attention. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who's where. I don't care what neighborhood, because truth be told, even though they don't show you on the news, they be breaking into white folks' homes and kicking in doors and robbing and stealing
Listen.
slaves and doing all the things too
Listen.
that
What?
they say we be doing in our neighborhoods. They're doing it. They're just hiding it and covering it up and paying to keep it out of the news and paying to keep it away from, the people, and not filing insurance
So,
claims
Well,
to get out.
it's not even. I mean, I don't want to go off on a tangent, but it's not even that they paying to keep it out of the news. The news is not reporting it for the simple fact that they like to say, "Oh, black on black crime," but they don't ever like to say white on white crime.
No, I'm telling
well,
you what I know.
so
I'm telling you
Sean,
that yes, they are also paying to keep it. I'm telling you from recent
right,
clients that I've had and different people,
right.
they often will pay the right people.
Sean,
There's a reason you have fixers. There's a reason you have PR people. There's a reason you have all of these people
And
that
I'm
are
not. I'm not
constantly
saying.
doing
I'm
things.
not saying that
Sean,
doesn't happen.
let me school you on something. Okay. So when I lived in Atlanta, right? I lived probably about a mile from Nene Leakes because her son went to school with my son, right? In that same neighborhood, there was a prostitution ring busted in a cul-de-sac. So here we got
That's the best place
half
to have
million,
it.
right? $500,000 and up homes. And
Don't nobody.
this
Don't
is
nobody
hold
expect it.
on now. Right, right. And this is this is like 2011 when we had those. So $500,000 home in Atlanta in 2011 was a pretty good home.
Get
I
to the point.
mean, right? But
Don't
the
care about the
thing
price.
is they never hold on. No, the thing is that they never said anything about it on the news. It was a
Yeah.
whole prostitution ring going
Yeah.
on and people going in and out of the houses and stuff like that. The only reason they found out, and they still didn't say what neighborhood it was, you had to be in the know to know what neighborhood. They just said that a prostitution ring was busted in Atlanta. They said Atlanta. They didn't even say Sandy Springs, which is where it actually was Sandy Springs. But they wouldn't say that because they don't want to put Sandy Springs in a bad light.
Well, I'm gonna go on and tell
Yeah.
you 20 years ago, 20 plus years ago, when I first started doing this work and I had clients living in post apartments. I don't know what they cost now because hadn't done,
They still
houses.
post.
And I said, I don't know what they cost now, but
No,
I
they
know that.
yeah.
But back then, posts were like the place to be in Brookhaven and Buckhead if you had the money and you
Hmm.
wanted to have the apartment and, the condo or whatever. And I
Right.
remember going to one of my clients' house one day. One of my I think he was one of my quadriplegic yes, one of my quadriplegic clients. And there was a drug bust. It was some college dudes that was running a whole drug ring, and they had the whole area shut down. So my point is, that's why I said, like, just because we don't see it in the news, I agree with Sean, is very curated. But there are also a lot of times that people are paying to keep shit out the news because they don't want their kids' future to be messed up like they would do for us,
Hmm.
right? Anyway, moving on, because we got some shit to talk about tonight. Let me give a disclaimer, y'all. I'm a little hype. I've been eating gummy bears and drinking Mountain Dew because my hand is hurting. I had my sutures out today, and my hand has been so swollen that they
The
almost couldn't
special
get my
gummy bears?
no. I wouldn't be talking to y'all
Oh.
if I was these special gummy bears. I'd be like, fuck y'all, I'm out. No. Um, but my hand was so swollen, she was struggling to get the sutures out, and a piece of it is still stuck inside.
Mm.
So
Mm.
I'm not feeling my best. I'm hyped up, hopped up, and we might end this early, so we need to go on and get to the point. Because
You drugged up.
Yeah.
Oh, Stank. I'm sorry.
I
Okay.
know.
I know. So new year, new energy, and rituals that hit every time. Oh Lord.
Yes, I got some good ones to share with y'all, tried and true, that I use myself, that I teach my clients and my students and my mentees all the time. I'm gonna be
Okay.
sharing with y'all some of the ways I've loved to alchemize around the house and do simple things in my day-to-day life. If I say
Wait,
something
what
crazy,
we sipping on tonight?
I'm
Oh,
sipping
you
on
you got drugs. You sipping on water.
yeah, I'm sipping on water and juice because I got pain pills waiting to kick in. I wish I
I'm
was sipping on
sipping on
something
gin
tonight.
and juice. Hey.
What are you
I'm
sipping on,
kind
Sean?
I'm kind of wilding, so I got me some moonshine.
Damn.
Mm. You been to
Yeah.
the country?
Been to the country now. How about that at the liquor store? I wish I could go to the country. I wish I knew
They
somebody
make
because
it better.
if I can get the real deal, trust me, I love the real deal. But I
Listen,
don't know
when you
nobody
visit
down here
here,
in Houston. So
when you visit here, I got you.
if anybody here in Houston is watching this and know somebody that got the real deal, let me know. Holler at me because I need that.
So I know my son brought home some 100 proof brown. It was some rum, but y'all know I don't do brown.
Mm.
Shit, I love
Brown
me
to
some
make
hundred
it
some
brown to
hundred
make you drown.
some
You
hundred
got
proof runs, but you can get you some Ray and Nephew. It's 120 proof. That's white.
oh shoot. What?
Ray
Oh
and Nephew.
uh-uh.
That's my
I
when it come to rum,
I cannot.
Ray and Nephew.
I
Well,
cannot. I cannot. Oh, by the way, JB, we're not gonna say their name because they don't pay us, but they are halting production for a year. And I'm kind of like, oh, what that mean for the prices? Because when they run
Oh, yeah, I know what you talking about. Yeah, that was
right,
crazy. But their whole thing is because they got so much, stock just stacked up,
okay,
and people ain't got the money to spend, so they just gonna sell off, they reserves. But I'm like,
okay,
that's why you got reserves because you've been producing and producing. You got reserves, and it's a reason why you do that because at that point, that's where you could say, here go this 10 year, this 15 year, this 25 year because it's been sitting there.
exactly.
But they like, nah, we're gonna sell off the reserves. But and that's what I mean. That's what they get. I mean, yeah, and I know they voted for Drowsy Donald.
We're gonna call
So
his ass Orange Taco. That's what I call him.
I feel you. I call him Drowsy Donald now because he been falling asleep all the damn time. Every time you turn around, he falling asleep. You want to talk about Sleepy Joe? You know what
Orange
I'm saying?
Taco.
It's Drowsy Donald now.
right, right. Well, so
Back on
that
track.
is back on track. So that's also about the new energy and new year. Like if you saying you want to have dry January, why couldn't you have dry December? Why do you have to wait till the beginning of the year to decide that you want to stop drinking? You can
That
stop drinking at any time.
Oh, I don't have
Now,
no
I
drive
ain't going
nothing.
to. I ain't drying nothing out. But
Yeah,
well,
I
I'm
I'm
don't.
just
I
not
don't.
a fan of
asking.
New Year's
I,
resolutions at all.
right. I'm talking about the people with these New Year's resolutions that I'm gonna have a dry January, and then I'm going to the gym. Okay, but you could have went to the gym in December. They was open.
But like it would make more sense to me just because of DD dry December instead of dry January. But okay, I digress. Whatever. That being said, let's get into it. I am not a fan of resolutions. Y'all, if I start talking, just know my pain
She
medicine kicked
high.
in
She
and
knows she get high. She
I'm
knows
gonna
she
go
get
off
high.
screen. I was like, wait, let me get this disclaimer. But I'm not a fan of New Year's resolutions. I think that it puts a lot of unnecessary pressure on self to perform. And then, especially when you
Mhm,
begin to share it with other people because it's the new year, new you,
mhm,
it puts that added pressure because now other people are looking at you with that expectation. And so, if you
mhm.
fail or you don't hit that goal, you feel bad. Then you feel worse
Right.
because they're looking at you and judging. I'm just a big fan of identifying your goals, whatever time of year it is, identifying your goals and really being able to understand the reason why. if you can understand the reason why this thing is your goal, what this is going to do for you, how it's going to enrich your life, that makes it a lot easier to not only implement it, but stick with it and get the result, get the outcome, because you know what the end looks like, right? So
Right.
I'm gonna be sharing some rituals that like I said, I use on a regular basis in my own life, and that I share with students and mentees. Now, let me also clarify what ritual is for me, because I know that's a buzzword that a lot of people are afraid of, feel, feel some kind of way about, especially
They be thinking
if
you sacrificing stuff.
they be like, huh, it's the devil, you know. For me, ritual is anything that you are doing on a regular basis that you are doing with the expectation of a certain outcome or a specific experience, right? Whether it's affirmations and mantras, whether it's whether it is candle magic, whether it is smoke, whether it is using water, whether it is using spoken incantation and dance, whatever you're doing, however you're alchemizing your energy to create these patterns, that's ritual to me. And I believe in ritual because the more that you can do something and the more consistently you can do it with a predictable pattern, the easier it becomes to replicate it. That's where people fuck up. They'll do a thing and they'll get an experience and they're like, oh my God, this is amazing. But they can't figure out what they actually did that works. So when they're trying to replicate that experience in their life and get another big thing or blessing or whatever it is they need, they're throwing spaghetti at the wall, hoping that it sticks because
Mhm.
you don't know what you did, right?
Right.
Ritual is predictable, it's consistent, it
Mhm.
teaches you what works for you so that you can do that consistently to get the outcomes that you desire. Does that make
And
sense, Joe?
it should be disciplined
Yeah,
too.
yeah. And it
If
doesn't
it's
have to be
not
intricate and
disciplined.
hard.
So let me say this, because when you get to the word discipline, that has a negative connotation for some people.
Yeah,
So that's why I don't like to frame it like that. I like to frame it as do what works for you. It
When I
does
say
take a level.
discipline,
No. It does take a level of discipline because you have to
it
be
does.
dedicated.
Right.
But when you present it that way, that's why 90% of New Year's resolutions fail
yeah.
Hmm.
because they're not disciplined enough. But
They fail
also
by
it fails.
February.
It also that it fails because people be like, "I'm gonna do this," and then they go so hardcore that they burn themselves out real
Yeah.
quick.
Um,
Or they don't
I
see
don't
the
say
results
discipline,
that
I
they
say
thought.
consistency.
Well, that's the thing is if they don't see the results that they anticipate right away, a lot
Yeah.
of times they just go ahead and give up and say, "Yeah, this don't work."
Well, this is why I say consistency, because what I teach is
Mhm.
this. If you take an herb or a seed or anything that you want to see grow, right? I don't care whether it's a bush. Like right now, one of the things that I'm planning on doing this coming year is having the bushes around my front porch dug up because they did, honey. They didn't give up the ghost. So I'm gonna have
Mm.
them dug up and have some new ones, have some new ones put in, right? Have some different ones put in. So I'm giving y'all that as a visual. When they come and do
Mhm.
that, when they dig those old ones out and pull up that root system and they put some fresh ones in, they're going to maybe be small to medium size, right? They're likely not going to be fully
Mhm.
grown, and that's fine.
Right.
But the point is, I can't go out there and dig them up and be like, y'all bitches ain't full yet. Why y'all ain't get 5 feet
Mhm.
tall yet? Why you ain't done growing yet? I have to leave them. I have to let the water do its thing as the rain comes, right? I have to put fertilizer down on whatever nutrients those particular types of bushes or trees need in order for them to grow, because this rock ass hard ground ain't it, right? It need a little help, right? It need a little help. So
Right.
I have to nurture it. I have to be consistent with whatever their care system calls for in order for it to grow. When I do that, I'm going to see it grow. It's the same if you want to plant watermelon. You got to plant the seeds, and then you have to make sure that the ground gets enough water. You got to make sure that the ground has the right nutrients. If it doesn't, you got to add a little bit of extra help to it. And then you got to let it do its thing and germinate and grow. You can't snatch it up and be like, you you ain't done yet. Shit, you failed. You a
Right.
bad seed. No. So it's the
Right.
same thing in life. Anything that you want, you got to be consistent in order to show up, through your effort, through your energy, through your intention, your words, whatever it's going to call for, right? And with that, then you have to watch that thing take root. If other people are involved, then you've got to look for their consistent action, or because they may not be meant to be consistent, they may be meant to give you one thing. You got to watch for whatever it is that they're supposed to do, let that be done and continue. But like you said, most people, Sean, get stuck because discipline feels overwhelming. Discipline feels scary. Discipline feels like if I fuck up my homework, I'm going to fail this class, right? But
Mm-hmm.
consistency is about finding things that feel good in this experience that I can stick with and do. And like you said, Gypsy, people give up because they don't see it quick enough. So the whole point of ritual, if I'm doing it consistently, again, it's not about I'm just dead focused on the outcome so that I can't see anything else, but it's
Right.
about the repetitive actions, the patterns that I exist in that I don't have to think about. That's how I teach people to
Yeah.
implement ritual. Create patterns that you don't have to think about. I'm gonna give you an example. When I take my shower, so people ask me all the time, like I'm out and about, random, and I have men from all over, women, it don't matter. They will just walk up to me and be like, "You're gorgeous. Do you know how beautiful you are? Oh my God, you smell amazing. Let me tell you, whoever your man is, he's lucky. I would steal you if I could." Like they just walk up to me and say the craziest shit all the time. Don't matter where I'm at. And my friends will always ask me, like, girl, and I'm talking about I be looking bum the fuck out. I mean, sometimes hair be whatever,
That don't that
t-shirt,
don't matter. That don't
it
matter.
don't matter. Listen, don't matter. They tell me I'm like the queen of Egypt, right? But here's how I created that experience for myself. Because every day when I take my shower, it doesn't matter whether it's in the morning or at night. Every day when I take my shower, that's my self-love routine. When I'm washing, when I lather up my rag or my loofah or whatever I'm using that day, when I'm washing and I'm scrubbing my body, I'm speaking affirmations to myself. I'm amazing. When I walk in the room, I don't have to open my mouth. People notice me. My spirit and my energy goes before me and prepares the path and makes it easy. People always pay
Mm-hmm.
attention to me and want to bless me. Men and women love me no matter where I go. They want to pour into me. They want to make life easy for me. They want to give me compliments. They love how I look. They love how I smell.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just giving y'all random examples off the top of my head, but that's one
Mm-hmm.
of the rituals that I do daily. Number
Mm-hmm.
one, it feeds me because can't nobody give you what you don't already possess inside. It feeds
Exactly.
me, it nourishes me, it calls my spirit up to stand in my full divinity and power. I remember how much I love me because see, can't nobody
Mm-hmm.
beat me in loving me. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And the more I
Exactly.
exist in that energy, the more I resonate that it's literally like it radiates off of me,
It does. It does.
and people sit in it and they're like, holy shit, why do I'm telling you, people will come into my house. This is another ritual I do when I'm cleaning, when I'm washing my dishes, when I'm vacuuming, when I'm mopping, when I'm dusting. It doesn't matter. Anything that I'm doing in my house, when I'm nourishing my house, even when I paint, I put affirmations on my walls before I paint them, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I plant stuff in my garden, I put affirmations down. When I bring a new plant into the house, I put an affirmation in the soil. So when people come into my house, and this has been years, even before I knew what the hell a ritual was, even before I got into plants, these are things that I embedded intuitively into my daily practices. So when people come into my house, they're like, Jay, I don't even understand why I get sleepy every time I come over here. I know why.
Cause you're
Because
comfortable.
my house, right, huh?
I say cause you're comfortable.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because I speak it, because I ritual it into the atmosphere. I declare it, I command it, I demand it. This is the existence that this space is. So people feel it even when they can't identify
Mm-hmm.
it, even when they don't know what
Mm-hmm.
it is. And I've literally had people be like, I got to get up because if I sit here, I'm going to go to sleep. Let me go because I got stuff to do. And they'll sit there and keep talking and
Mm-hmm.
then I'm going to take a nap. Or they'll get up like, let me go for real
Mm-hmm.
before I go to sleep. Right. But the point is, you do things. Here's the best way to anchor a ritual in. If you're a newbie, or even if you're in your lifestyle, whatever that may be, but you're feeling overwhelmed or burned out, anchor it to things that you already have to do. When you brush your teeth, you should be saying affirmations in your mind. When you're
Mhm.
moisturizing your face or scrubbing your face or washing your body in the shower or soaking in the tub, you should be anchoring in affirmations. When you're cooking your food, you should be alchemizing when you're adding your spices to your food. When I go to the grocery store and I stock up on things, when I'm putting my spices in the cabinet, when I'm holding them in my hand, I'm speaking. They nourish my body. They nourish my food. Everything I cook is healing. Everything I cook is nourishing to the soul, nourishing to the body, healing to the immune system inside and out. Like I'm already alchemizing it. And then every time
Mhm.
I pick it out to add it to something, I'm reinforcing that as I'm stirring my food, right? As I'm making my
Mhm.
cranberry juice or, fresh juice or smoothies or whatever I'm doing, when I'm baking, like it doesn't matter. I anchor the behaviors so
Mhm.
that I don't have to think about it now because I've done it for so long. I don't even think about it. I'll catch myself and be like, oh shit, that was a good one right there. Cause I'm in flow state.
Mhm.
My mind runs and my spirit activates and takes over. So I'm on autopilot when I'm doing certain things, but my consciousness will kick in, be like, damn, I like that affirmation. I'm gonna remember that one. Right. But the point is consistency, because you got to live anyway.
Mhm.
You got to do things every day anyway to get through life and survive and thrive. So anchor your
Mhm.
ritual when you're first beginning to the things that you're already doing. Then once you got that down pat and you're feeling good about that and you're seeing a little shift, you're seeing some results, you're seeing some proof of power, then you go from there and you start to do some of the other rituals that I'll share with you guys. Nadina said, how many people do dry January? I don't know.
Not me. My thing
Yeah,
is that if I'm gonna stop,
I
I'm gonna
ain't.
stop. I'm not going to like make it a month and be like with somebody else or doing it because it's what do you call it? It's the popular thing to do or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And when I do it, I do things for me and not because that's what the trend is.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I feel
And
you. I feel you.
and Zen Z said, I'm burnt out. I burnt out my New Year's resolution and haven't even started yet. Wow. Well, that's
Yeah,
the
it's a
thing.
mental
Is
thing. It's a mental
you
thing.
can start and
Yeah.
restart. And the thing is stop anchoring it to a particular day of the year
And
and
just do it.
then and just
Yeah.
do it, because the thing is that how many times did you fall before you learned how to walk?
Yeah.
Well, most people don't know because they was babies, but
Shut up.
With that
I
being said,
had
I
an
want to
I
take a quick
got a
break
new
and
knee.
I want to take a quick
So
break and give Zealand's Media a shout out. He is here in the local Beham area, a dope photographer and videographer. So if you're looking for somebody to help you create some content or do some professional stuff for your business media wise, get at him. I also,
mhm.
hey Alicia, want to give Alicia a shout out, Sean and Gypsy. Again, I'm gonna tell y'all whenever you're here in the area next time, let me know ahead of time, and I'll hook you up with Alicia because they do some dope edibles, infused goodies, and they do moonshine. Okay, I still have some infused moonshine
Okay.
downstairs from Alicia, and uh, I have some flavored moonshine from Maya. They don't play. Okay. When I partake in their goodies, I know I'm not finna drive and I ain't finna go nowhere for at least a few hours because I'm gonna have to lay down and take a nap. Okay. That's all I'm say. You're very welcome, Zealand. You're very welcome. Listen, we have to support each other. He's
And
also a
Nadina,
black
thank
owned business.
you.
She's
Thank you for
also a
coming
black
through,
owned business as
Nadina.
well. Yeah. They're both
no,
black
And
owned
no.
Omar
businesses.
Hamani, this is a new name. Omar Hamani, welcome to the show. And when you ask where we are from, that's something we've covered in previous videos. So we don't like try to rehash that over and over again, but we're all from the United States. Jay is in Alabama. Sean is in Texas. I'm in Maryland.
She
My
went all the
friend,
way
my
through that
friend,
one.
my friend. We are all from U.S. My friend.
I'm like,
I
that's all right, right. Okay. Okay.
But
yeah.
yeah. So I myself, I do love a good bush. So ladies, let's take it back to the '70s. But anyway, I don't participate in none of that. Like no
John
nut
said,
November,
shoot your shot, ladies.
no nut November. Nah, I don't care if I ain't with
Oh,
nobody. I'm
that's a
still going.
thing.
I'm still gonna get me a nut and yeah,
Oh
dry
snap!
January. Nope, I'm still drinking. Fuck that.
Mm,
You
no
know.
nut November. Ooh, that's treacherous.
Yeah, you ain't know about no nut November.
Because I don't participate in that shit.
I mean, I don't either, but I know it exists.
No, I did not know it existed.
Hmm.
Wow. Oh, here's
Wow.
another ritual, guys, that you can embed in your daily shower or your bath. A cleanse, cut, and release, right? So when water is a healer, water is energy, just like anything else. Water holds intention, water is energy too. So when you're soaking, okay, I don't know how everybody else does it, but when I take a bath, I still take a shower. So I soak in the tub with my little bath, oil or body, whatever, to get the suds. Y'all, I can't talk, but y'all know what I'm saying. I soak, listen to my music, read my book, close my eyes and take a nap, whatever. And I may bathe in the tub, I may not. But then I'm gonna let the water out and stand up in the shower and actually bathe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so
Cause you
either
just
one,
soaking in the dirt. If you sitting in that water, you call yourself bathing and then get out dry off. You didn't soak and put that dirt right back on you because you
right? That's
soaking in the tub.
right. That's just a little weird to me. But that's how I do it. I ain't saying you gotta do it that way, but that's how I do it. So one of the things that you can do when you're bathing or showering, or some people like to say bathing or showering, um, do a release. Ask the water to cleanse you, to release
Mhm.
the day, anything that was stagnant, heavy, old, anything that doesn't belong to you, anything that was old mindsets, old paradigms, anything that you're ready to let go of, whatever your language may be. Shy, what the fuck is funny?
I'm crazy because when you say shit, my mind goes a whole because I'm like a release, like oh shit, all right, I get you, all right, I'm going ahead and handle my business and bust on real quick while I'm in the tub. Okay, all right, I feel you that might, but
Now, yo, I'm all about that too. Cause why
I'm
not double team it? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Okay, I'm with you when you're right, Sean. So yes, you absolutely rub a dub dub while you're in the tub. Get your little groove on, bust a couple of O's, right? I'm with you when you're right. And then let the shower do its thing with the water cleansing and bringing forth healing energy. Because again, water is a major element. So why not use it to your benefit? Water has memory. And as it's cycling through the earth, not only is it working through the energy of the earth, but it's bringing all of that power to you, whether you're washing your hands, whether you're in the shower, whether you're soaking in the tub, etc. And so, yeah, speak your affirmations of healing, cleanse, release, clearing. If you're not sure what to say, because I've been doing this so long, I can go off the cuff, right? But if you're not sure what to say, if you don't know where to get started, just shoot us an email, sexintimacypower@gmail.com. Y'all don't send me no dissertation because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna read it. Just send me a quick blurb, what you're dealing with, and I can shoot you back something that I would say if it were me. I ain't telling you what to say, but if it were me, this is what I would say. I can help you with that so that you can do it right. But water's a cleanser, use it to your benefit. Water's a magnifier. Use it to your benefit. So when you're trying to attract something, again, when you're in the shower, use that water, magnify your words, multiply your energy. That's really the point of ritual as well, to magnify your multiply. Whether you're using crystals,
Mhm.
candles, incense, smoke, earth, herbs, doesn't matter. Use it to your benefit to call forth what you want and make it easier. So one of the rituals that I'm gonna tell you, if you're newbie, start with what I already said. If you missed that part, make sure you come back and catch the replay so you can catch up on that part. Those things are easy foundational pieces that you can add in so that you can start safely, comfortably, do your thing, and then build
Yeah,
up.
and the key word is safely because careful playing with ritual and magic because you can conjure up something that you can't control that will take you up out of here.
Yeah, it's like
and
anything else because folks in church conjuring shit all day long that they don't know, and that's why they be
Yep.
getting their ass whooped talking about God is testing them. Baby, God ain't testing you. That was
God
some
ain't
bullshit.
testing you. That was the
But
other guy.
I digress. No, it ain't always the devil either. Listen, I really feel like the devil be sitting over there in the corner like these bitches need to stop lying on me. Because half the shit folks be saying the devil made me do it. That motherfucker Satan, the devil is
man,
alive.
I ain't had shit to do with shit. I was
Right,
over here playing my fiddle, and this motherfucker did some shit and wanna blame me.
right. He was over there minding his business or fucking with somebody else, and here come your lying
Right.
ass talking about he did it. No, he didn't. That was you. right? Sometimes we're just dealing with the consequences of our dumbass actions. I just had to say it. I just had
And
to say
now for me, like if you're not on that wavelength, that's cool. But
Right.
meditate.
Right.
yes, every day, all day.
Seek
Right.
seek solace within yourself.
Hmm.
Breathe. I mean, actually breathe. I mean, intentionally breathe. Don't just
Yeah,
because it's a natural thing. No, intentionally breathe.
yeah. You're welcome, Zealands, and you're welcome, Alicia. Um,
Hmm.
can I also add this to what you just said, Sean? I think a lot of people give up on meditation because of their personal disposition and not always being able to sit still and be silent or get their mind to go quiet to meditate.
Hmm.
And what I try to explain to people is meditation looks, feels, and works different for different people. I
Right.
meditate in motion. I rarely meditate in silence or being still. Can I do it? Yes, if I make myself sit still, I can do it. But I typically meditate when I'm on the walking trail because motion, like moving through my energy, because my energy is so intense. And when I mean intense, I don't have to say a word. People in my presence feel my energy, right?
Hmm.
And that's I have ironclad boundaries because a lot of people be like, oh, that's just bad boundaries. Nope, I have ironclad boundaries, but my energy is just big. It exudes outside of my body, right? And so, in order for me to calm my energy, motion, whether I'm going to the gym and getting on the treadmill, whether I'm walking or hiking, whether I'm outside in the garden moving around, like motion, right? You can meditate while you're doing the dishes. You can meditate while you're
Hmm.
cooking, you know? So you can meditate while you're journaling. Like do what makes sense for you, but I absolutely agree with you, Sean. Like take the time to sit with your thoughts or move with your thoughts and self-reflection. Like I don't think that you can truly thrive if you don't learn how to self-reflect because you have to have
Exactly.
the capacity to see yourself, not just what other
Exactly.
people say to you objectively.
Mhm. Mhm.
You have
Hmm.
to see yourself subjectively and be able to have a healthy vantage point and not ignore your bullshit and deal with it, face it, work through it, but also see your greatness and acknowledge it because the word humility and humble have the words rather humility and humble
Right.
have been weaponized so deeply to keep people in their place. And sometimes you got to say, fuck humility and fuck being humble. I see myself. I see who I am. I see my power. I see whatever. Not being an asshole, but finding your
Right.
balance. That's
And
my
and,
stance.
and that's my thing because yeah, I know who I am and that's how I attack it every day. Fuck that, I'm the man.
All day, every day.
Fuck that, I'm the man. Fuck it,
Mm.
I don't give
All
a
day.
Right.
fuck. I'm the man. Even if I'm down, I'm still gonna come out on top
Yeah.
because I'm the man.
Mm.
So you can do whatever the fuck you think you gonna do. It ain't gonna work. It might look like it worked at first, but then when you turn around, you're like, oh shit, this nigga did what? Fuck, I was trying to stop him. It ain't gonna work. But at the
Right.
same time, I'm not walking around town like, yeah, bitch, fuck that. I'm the nigga. Come suck my dick. I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? And that's where the humility comes in.
Yeah.
Because you gotta understand that you have a certain strength, but you ain't gotta walk around shitting on everybody.
Absolutely.
Right.
And I'll give you an example from my standpoint. So it was weaponized against me for so long, and I didn't even realize it. Oh, you got to be humble because I was trained in ministry, right? So
Hmm.
you're taught to put yourself to the side. You're taught to be selfless and prioritize others, and be selfless and be Christ-like and be Jesus-like, and all this other bullshit. And so for a long time, I downgraded myself in my own mind. Now, I don't think I ever didn't know what I had the capacity for or to be or who I could be, but I allowed other people to make me feel bad about that, right?
Mm.
About the capacity that I had, about the power that I had, about the gifts that I have, what have you. And and for example, women really were the main ones that weaponized it against me because
I can see that.
I could I could go into any space and kind of relate to people. I am educated. I am well spoken, right? I can get up here and talk a little ratchet and let y'all see some of the layers of myself. But I am still private. So there's a boundary and I hold a lot back. I can exist in another space and let my guard. Like for my birthday, my friends are like, we ain't never seen you act like this. And I'm like, you might not ever again, but today you got it all. I just have the capacity to be in different spaces and be the different versions. And so for years, that was weaponized. Like, you need to be humble. You need to be humble. And that's why I said it's weaponized against a lot of people, because oftentimes people see what you have the capacity to do that they can't. And so
Mm-hmm.
they will tell you that you need to bring it down because they can't get up here with you. So they're trying to bring you back down here with them. You get what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
that's why I said self-reflection is huge, because no matter what someone else says that's good or not good, you have to be able to recognize what you are, who you are, what you're capable of, what you have the capacity to be, to do, to experience, whatever it is. You have to recognize what feels good and what doesn't, what you need and what you don't, what you stand for and what you want, what you tolerate, etc. You have to have the understanding of what your goals and your dreams are, what you desire, what you want to be and feel and experience and accomplish in this life, no matter what anybody else says. And so for me, especially with women, it was weaponized because of my looks, right? I say I'm caramel. A lot of people say, oh, you're light skinned, but then I was right in the middle. I'm not dark enough to be black. I'm not light enough to be, you know, pale or light skinned. Like, so
Mm-hmm.
it was
You
weaponized.
ain't high. You ain't high yellow, but you ain't sexy chocolate.
See what I'm saying? No.
You. But
Um,
you a caramel
Oh.
deluxe. That's what
you
you are.
know,
Caramel deluxe. That's it.
I say caramel
It's a
delight
name
because
for
I love you.
everything. Now,
Mm-mm.
mm, I ain't gonna
Um,
say that, but
but that being said, y'all, okay, so I want to show y'all something. If you notice, the entire time that we've been doing these podcasts, y'all have rarely ever seen me dressed up. You've
Right.
rarely ever seen me do anything special. I don't wear a lot of makeup. I have it. I buy makeup once a year and usually end up throwing it away and having to buy some fresh ones, right? But I'm just me. I've gotten to a point where I'm comfortable in my skin.
and that's
So
how you should be.
right. So I get up here
Mm-hmm.
with the shadows up under my eyes, with my face looking all pale. Sometimes my hair is moisturized. Sometimes I'm like, well, fuck it, I ain't gonna do it today. We running, let's go. Right. But I'm so comfortable in who I've become. And to some extent, I was always that way. I wasn't here back then, but there was a
Right.
piece of that, right? And so women weaponized it. And so part of my ritual work, because this still ties into the topic, part of my ritual work that I did on myself through the years was to restore my beauty inside and out, was to
Mm-hmm.
restore my self-love inside and out. So
Mm-hmm.
that no matter who says what, I got me always. I don't need,
Right.
it's kind of like how a lot of times you hear us say now we love girl dads, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
dad should be the first man that she falls in love with. Dad should be the first man setting the standard for how a man should treat her. Dad should be taking her out on dates and all of that, right? Well, I ain't get all that. He was fucked up, right? So I had to restore that standard for myself
Right.
of beauty, of love, of healing, of all those things, of this is what I require to ride this ride, whether as my friend, whether as my man, whether in business, whether personally, whatever. This is what I require for you to exist in my space. And it
You gotta
all
be this
starts with
tall.
gotta be this tall, baby. No, but
Mm-hmm.
it all requires the standard that I set for myself and how I want to be treated, how I want to be honored and loved and respected and revered, right? And so those self-love rituals so I get a lot of people asking me, well, Jay, can you do a love ritual for me? And my question is always, why? What is it that you are trying to
Right.
accomplish with this ritual? Well, I want that man or I want that woman. Nope. But I'll do a self-love ritual for you because I understand that the more you fall in love with yourself, the easier it's going to be to attract what you want anyway. People love me because I love me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so whatever ritual to me is a way of reclamation, a way of power, a way of restoration for yourself. Whatever you feel like the world has taken, you give it back to yourself, and then the world steps up and responds. That, you know, that's what I
You
think.
need to
Now,
learn how to mother that kid that didn't get mothering.
but that's the thing though. It's about the energy you put out is the energy you get back. Bottom
Absolutely.
line. So
Mhm.
if you don't love yourself, if you can't be by yourself and enjoy your own company, people ain't gonna be able
Mm.
to enjoy your company. They might
Right.
tolerate it, but they're not gonna be able to enjoy it.
Facts.
Yeah. That's, that ties into a secondary topic that I had talked about, which was the fact that, sometimes people now, while they don't want to be married, everybody doesn't want to be married, but some women are just always the standby chick. And it's because he's whoever he is or she, whoever they are when they encounter you, if you show that you're the standby chick for yourself, they'll make you the standby chick for them.
Yeah, very true.
I,
Very true.
I, I agree with that, but then I don't agree. And the only reason why is because some people just don't want to be married.
I'm not
Mhm.
talking about being married, but just in any sort of like
Some
some people want a committed relationship. Some people desire that, but they're never a priority to others, whether it's in a committed
no no no
relationship or
no no
whatever.
no.
They're never a priority to others
I'm
because
not
they
saying
don't
that.
make themselves much. That's what I'm
What
saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm
no
not
no no
talking
no
about
no no no
just marriage in general.
no. What I'm saying is because there's some people that just they don't want to be. No matter how good the situation is, they don't want to be in a relationship because they don't want to be beholden to anybody about anything as far as that goes. Now, yes,
I feel that,
they
Sean.
fucks with you. They fucks with you. And they can fuck with just you and nobody else, but they still don't want to be in a relationship because then with a relationship with that title comes a whole bunch of other shit
Comes
that
responsibility.
they don't want to deal with.
Yeah.
They don't want to prioritize you. Again, that's the same thing.
But yeah, but it's not though. It's not. I don't want because you could be like, oh shit, I just got in an accident and my shit and they shit. What? Okay, shit. You know I got the money. Let's go get you a new car. But they still don't want to be in a relationship.
Yeah. I agree with you on that, Sean. I think that's know thyself, honor thyself, right? Because
Right.
I've had seasons in my life that I've been honest enough to say I don't have what I feel like I need to give to a relationship. I like this person. I can go out with you. We can have companionship and hang out every once in a while, but I don't want or need or have the capacity for the responsibility that I feel like comes with the title and the container of a relationship. Because me,
Mm.
I feel like if you are going to say I choose to be committed to this person in this experience, whether it's a relationship, marriage, engagement, whatever,
Right.
there's a certain level I think that you have to maintain with that person in fairness, right? Because you
Right.
set the expectations of what that experience is supposed to look like for both people, and you need to maintain it. If you're going to start off that way, you need to
Mhm.
finish off that way. That's my standard. So
Right.
I think I agree with Sean. I think that there are times in people's lives where you have to be honest enough to say, no matter how much I like a person, no matter how fine they may be, no matter how great the sex is, no matter how much I enjoy hanging and with them and spending time with them periodically, I don't have the space to exist in a different container with them. And it's fair to be honest to speak up and say that. It doesn't mean they don't respect you, doesn't mean they don't prioritize you. It means they're being honest about what they need and what they have the capacity for.
And if you have expressed that that's what you need and you keep encountering that, sometimes you need to search out yourself on why do you keep attracting that?
Absolutely.
Why do you keep attracting that is not what you want?
And see, that's where it gets muddy and murky, and because sometimes, because I know people, they are in, for lack of a better word, situationships, but they live together, they do shit, they travel together, but at the same time, they don't want to put a label on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's not like they doing other shit. They just don't. And it could be a fair of once that label is there, then shit gets fucked up because that's how it's been in their past. It may be something that people need to work through. I'm not getting into all that. That's fucking a two
Right.
hour show right there. But I'm
Right.
just saying that sometimes you have to look at a situation and you have to understand what it is. Now, if it is something where somebody's just using you, by all means, get the
But
hell up out of there.
Sean, what I'm saying is if that is what you desire
No,
and
no,
you
no. I
still
agree
keep
with you.
you
I agree
keep
with you. I agree with
inviting
you.
those kind of
I
people,
agree.
that's
I
because
agree with
your ritual is fucked up. And your ritual is attracted.
you.
Yeah,
No, no. No,
your
no.
ritual
I
is helping
agree.
you attract that.
I
Okay.
agree with you. I keep saying
Okay.
I'm not. I'm not because yeah, there are those situations where it is where that person's just using you for they can use you for,
So
and definitely get out of those situations. But even if you're in a situation where hell, we've been together for 5 years, we ain't put no label on it, but we do all these things together. But I want this label, and when you bring it up to that person said, "Yo, I like the way things are." If that's not what you want,
get
walk
out.
away from that situation.
Yeah, get
Right,
out.
but that's what I'm saying, Sean. If you have stated that in the beginning,
Uh,
before
Hold
y'all
on,
even
wait. Let
went down
me
that
let
road.
me let me let me see my Chinese because I just said I agree with you.
But then you turn around and say, but that person that said that they don't want that. But that's
and
because
I
you
said walk away from. I agree with you.
okay, all right. But I mean saying
Trying to make a point
why do
that
you
you
keep attracting
agree.
my thing, Sean, is why does a person keep attracting that? It's
and you
probably because of
and
something they're doing.
you could say that, but
So,
at the
so
same
can I jump
time,
in here?
Yes.
okay.
Okay, so from a mental health standpoint, from an energetic standpoint, from a mindset or paradigm standpoint, it becomes less about the outside or the external ritual actions, things that you're doing, and more about what you possess inside. I can speak an affirmation all day. I'm rich, bitch. I'm Rick James. I'm rich, bitch.
Mhm.
You can say what you want,
Hmm.
but your mouth can't override your
Your
nervous
pocket.
system. Your mouth cannot override your nervous system.
Gotcha.
So if your nervous system, because to manifest, I'm not going to say you have to feel safe because you don't. You can manifest from a place of fear and scarcity and lack. But it becomes much easier to get what you desire and to keep it because you can manifest and lose it, right? It becomes easier to manifest and keep it when your internal state matches the things that you're doing externally and the words that you're speaking, when they're vibing on the same plane, right? So if I'm
Hmm.
saying I want a man that loves me and want to marry me and blah blah blah, but internally my script is still saying men are not safe, all men cheat, men are dogs, men are hoes. My mama said, and my auntie said, and my daddy said, and everybody else said, and I don't think. Then no matter what you say, you can burn your fucking house down trying to light candles and do ritual. Doesn't matter. Your internal state is going to override, right? So I actually think I didn't finish my thought earlier, so I'll go back to it and tie it in and make it make sense. When I was using myself as an example, saying if you notice, I rarely dress up. Normally, I'm gonna pull the same thing, and you can probably look back through all of our videos and see I probably wear the same 20 different clothing. I got two closets full
Hmm.
of clothes. It's not that I don't have clothes, but I operate in comforts.
Hmm.
I'm gonna wear what the fuck I want. I'm gonna do what I want that feels good to me and nourishes my
Hmm.
soul. But
Hmm.
women in the past weaponized that against me because right now, you can't tell me I'm not the best thing since sliced bread. I don't give a fuck. I can stand next to Nicki Minaj, Cardi B. It don't matter. My
Well,
ass may not, huh?
fake bodies don't matter.
No, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I'll say even Beyonce, right? It don't matter.
Hmm.
My ass may not be as fat. My stomach may not be as flat. They may be more conventionally, good looking or whatever somebody else may say. I don't give a damn. Nobody can convince me
Hmm.
that I'm not the shit because I've done the
Right.
inner work on myself, right? So my
Hmm.
inner script overrides anything that anybody else would ever try to tell me. That's why I can exist in
Mhm.
different spaces. That's why I can be here and be chill and be relaxed and then put on some makeup tomorrow and go do a photo shoot, or then go do a corporate training, or whatever it is that I may be doing in that moment with the different parts of my personality. Because I've done the work on myself, whether you want to call it prayer, meditation, ritual work, law of attraction, living on purpose, curating. I don't give a damn what you call it. It's all living
Right.
intentionally to get the outcomes that you want. And oftentimes, whether it's men, women, or whoever, people weaponize the thing that they see you operating with your power, because it
Mm.
makes them uncomfortable when they are not doing it. So most often I have had women that were full of makeup and hair and all the things. And that's no judgment. If you love makeup, rock the fuck out of that shit, because there are seasons in my life where I'm
Right.
like, I'm gonna put on a little lippy and put me on some eyelashes and whatever else, right? Do you,
Mhm.
whatever feels good. But most often women have weaponized it against me because they can't figure out, how am I a plain Jane in this moment, but I can stand next to you dolled up to the nines and not give a damn. I'm still
Right.
confident, right? And
Right.
so whether it's money, whether it's men, whether it's women, whether it's sex, whether it's health, whether it's the next car you want to get, the house you want to buy, doesn't the object or the thing doesn't matter as much as your mindset and your inner state. The more you trust yourself,
Mhm.
the more you know yourself, the
Right.
easier it becomes to operate in a space where life is responding to you and you're not always in reaction mode responding to life. Does that make sense?
Right. Yes.
Right, it makes sense, but let me say this. Ladies, if y'all didn't know, real men love real women. They
They
love
love
real
stomachs
women
and muffin
bodies.
tops and stretch marks and zebra stripes and all
Exactly.
that
Oh,
shit.
yeah. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, yeah, we appreciate that. But a fake shallow little boy is what's going to go after a trophy wife.
Mhm.
But a real man loves a real woman.
And there's always
I,
gonna be a prettier trophy
Right.
I get what you're saying. It
because
took a
we
few,
all
but
age. We
but
all
I'm like,
age,
nah.
so there's
No,
always gonna
I
be a
get
prettier
no, no.
trophy.
I get what you're saying. Trust me, I do.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's what I was saying. That's why when you hit 44 and he divorce you and go get a 22-year-old because he need his new trophy wife.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Even though his shit don't work no more.
But a real man loves a real woman, and he's gonna appreciate all that. He's gonna
I
want
ain't
that.
never had no complaints.
That's all I'm
Um,
saying.
um, Let me get back on track for y'all have me on here wilding now. This is not what I came up here to talk to y'all about today. Back on
Wild
track.
out, wild
It's
out,
still,
wild
I
out,
know, right?
wild out.
Violin, violin, violin. Oh, let me stop.
Mhm.
So what I was going to share, once you've done some of those base things we've talked about,
Mhm.
learn how to alchemize your everyday life. Learn how to ritual in things that make sense for you that you can anchor in behaviors. That makes it easier to be consistent. As you see the consistency, it makes it easier to see proof of power, signs and wonders, whatever you want to call it. But you should see responses to the things that you're doing.
Right.
Over time, you should see tangible manifestation of the things that you are creating. And if you're not, then you need to ask yourself, why is it not working? Where's the disconnect in what you're doing, speaking, and asking for, and what you're receiving? Right? It's an adventure. It's an experiment. Because just because Sally and Joe and Titus and David and Brittany all said, I did it this way and it worked, doesn't mean it's exactly going to work that way for you. It's always individual,
Mhm.
your personality, your needs, your level of safety, your experiences, all that stuff, right? So,
And your consistency.
and your consistency. So, here's the first thing that I say, because a new year, whether you're going by the calendar or whatever, that's a whole different discussion. But a new year,
Mhm.
right, is all about welcoming in fresh. Well, what a
Right.
lot of people don't recognize about manifestation and get really stressed about is, in order to manifest, you got to be willing to lose.
That part.
Because you can't receive anything that you're asking for that is an upgrade from where you are if you're still holding on to the old shit that kept you in pain. The two cannot coexist.
Right.
And if you do
You
somehow
can't.
to override and get both of them at the same time, a lot of times you're going to lose the thing that you just worked so hard to get, because if they're not compatible, something has to go, right?
And you don't have room for both.
Right,
And
right.
that's
You don't
just
have
like,
capacity.
just put it like this. It's like when you get in your car to go shopping,
Right,
you only have room for so much. You can't buy a damn couch and you go
right.
because you're not gonna be able to get it home in there. So
They don't even make that no more. You could have used something else.
no,
Okay, so you
um,
can't go in your Mazda to pick up that leather sectional, right? You got to go in the
right,
Chevy or the Tundra or something. Like you got to have some
right.
space.
You gotta have the space for it, and in order to
But
make
she said
space for
you
stuff,
go those. Like that was
listen.
back in the 80s.
No,
Like,
it
you
wasn't. It was
know.
in the 90s. It was in the 90s. And
Okay.
but so for example, I went shopping this weekend. I
Mm-hmm.
got a bunch of new clothes,
Yes.
but I have yet to take them out of the packages. And the reason is because I need to clean out my closet and I need to make room for them because there are things I have a rule. If I'm putting something in, I have to take two things out. There was a reason that I was buying new stuff. It's because the thing is that if I haven't seen it, worn it, used it in so many months or years, I'm not going to. And so I had a bad habit of holding on to something just in case or holding on to it for the memory of, what it meant or whatever. Like I held on to my wedding dress for a long time, even though I let go of the marriage longer. It's been a long time since I let go of the marriage, but I kept holding on to the dress. But I finally got rid of the dress. I needed to get rid of that energy.
I couldn't
Did you
wait
get
to
rid
get
I've
of
rid
it?
been
of it.
divorced. I've been divorced
But
since
but did
2017.
but did you get rid of it though?
I did.
You sure?
I,
Yep.
I
No, I'm
couldn't
just
wait to get rid of
asking
my dress.
because you bring it up very often, so that means
Right.
there's still some remnant left there.
No, the dress.
I
But you but
understand the
you
Because
dress,
didn't
but
get
that
that.
that's
that
what I'm saying.
energy that
Because that's what I'm saying. That energy was still in here. I
When
just
did you
let
give up
go
the
of that
dress?
dress like a few weeks ago.
Good.
mm,
That's
Okay,
why I'm saying. That's why
moving
I'm
on,
saying
because
the
I'm
energy, the
sliding.
energy, the energy was still here. And that's
Right.
the thing is that people have to understand that even if it was tucked in the back of the closet, the energy was still here.
So that's a whole different conversation for a
Right.
whole different
mhm,
podcast day.
mhm,
Let's get back
mhm.
on track, because I'm starting to slide into this blissfulness of pain medication.
So no,
So
yeah, we gonna go ahead and wrap this up. But the
yeah.
the
So
the Yugo was from 85 to 92.
so I
It
wanna
was
Just
still in the
just to be
90s.
correct.
I want
Yeah,
to go ahead and
okay.
give y'all this ritual so y'all can work on it if you want to before I start talking left and need to get off screen. Let's get into it, okay? So
Mhm.
this you can consider the cut and call ritual, right? Now this is real simple, real quick. You don't need a lot of stuff. You're gonna need a black candle, a white candle, a piece of paper, water, and a bowl of salt. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna write on one side of the paper. And if y'all just need this and y'all can't keep up with this, first of all, go back and watch the replay, rewind, pause, write it down. But
You
if
know
you
you can slow
just,
it down.
yes, you can slow it down too. But if you just are one of those people that need to be able to have it in front of you and you can't process it that quickly, email us sexintimacypower@gmail, and I will be kind enough to just send it to you in writing. Not a problem. But on one side of the paper, you're gonna write what you're releasing. That could be habits, relationships, shame, guilt, family bullshit, whatever. Write it down. Debt habits, credit
Mhm.
issues, doesn't matter. Write it down. On the other side of the same piece of paper, I want you to write down what you're ready to receive. Right
Mm.
now, what you're gonna do is you're gonna light that black candle and you're gonna say this. You're gonna say this. I cut the cords to what no longer lives here. I return to myself, whole, sovereign, and untangled. Now, the reason I use the word untangled is because we get tangled the fuck up in all the things that we're going through, and we wrap it around ourselves like blankets in bondage, and it becomes
Mhm.
so normal that we don't realize it anymore. So you have to set yourself free and
Right.
untangle yourself from those ropes, right? I want you to tear or rip or burn that piece of paper. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that on top of the salt bowl. Literally is what it sounds like, a bowl filled with salt. You can take your little lighter and burn the piece of paper and let it sit on top of that salt bowl until it fully burns. I want you to do this as many times as you need to. The reason that I have you write on one side what you're releasing and the other side what you're calling in is because what is the old saying? Nature abhors a vacuum. If there's space,
Mm-hmm.
something is eventually going to fill it. So if you're
Mm-hmm.
focusing on the things that you want to release, you also want to have in mind and put the energy out there into the ether or the field or the stratosphere, whatever you want to call it, of what I want, what I desire, what I'm
Mm-hmm.
calling in. Salt is a cleanser. Salt is a purifier. Salt is a magnifier. Now, if you are not sure how you're feeling, do it separate. Burn what you
Right.
want to let go of first, and then call in what you want to experience and burn that as well, because you're still burning it as an offering to spirit.
But don't let it be too long between the two because you don't want something
Yeah,
else to get in the space.
exactly. The second thing I want you to do, and I think I forgot to tell you, but you have lit the black candle at that point, right? You're letting it burn. It's absorbing
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff that you want to let go of. Once that burns down, now you don't need huge candles. You just need the small little chime candles to do this. Okay. They're usually about this
Mm-hmm.
big or a little bit bigger,
Mm-hmm.
or tea light candles, doesn't matter. So when that's done and that candle has completely burned out, I want you to write another piece of paper. And on this one, I want you to say, I am available for blessings that don't hurt. I am a match for aligned opportunities now. Now, the reason I use that particular verbiage is because depending on where your state of nervousness is, your state of safety is in your nervous system, you're going to have to play
Mm-hmm.
with the words to figure out what bypasses your consciousness and gets in and is acceptable. Because you got to
Mm-hmm.
think of your consciousness is like the bitch that don't play. She the bouncer that's like, nah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
good. They said they off limits. You can't get in.
Right.
You have to find the words that get past that bitch at the door, that bouncer, and gets into your unconscious or your subconscious so that it can embed into your memories, into your recall for later use, right?
Right.
So again, play with those words, feel, see what feels good. I want you to light that white candle. As that candle is burning down, you're just speaking affirmations over yourself. You maybe let it burn and you take a shower or you soak in a tub, put some music on and dance around the house. If you bros,
Mm-hmm.
drink a couple of beers, play cards, do something that makes you feel good, that makes you feel safe and loved, that puts you in the energy of what you're trying to curate, right? You want to feel peaceful,
Mm-hmm.
easy, safe. And then as that candle is almost done burning, I want you to take that same bowl of salt, take that piece of paper and burn it on top as well. Now, this is something that you can do regularly. You can keep that bowl of salt set to the side, and you can do this over a few weeks, over a few months. And then as it gets full, you just take it, put it in a garbage bag, dump it, say your prayer of release over it, and throw it away somewhere outside your house. Now, these are rituals that I've created based on my experiences, tinkering, adventures, experiments. I am a hoodooist. I practice hoodoo, right? But I took
Mm-hmm.
these things because I believe hoodoo is a closed practice. It ain't for everybody. But I did take certain things that I've learned, certain things that I've experimented with, and I start creating simple rituals that I can share with all my clients and all my students. So I feel safe sharing that with anybody. It's really hard to fuck this up. Like, even if you're a newbie starting today, it's really hard to
Mm-hmm.
fuck this up. You're not calling on any entities. You're not doing anything other than really speaking affirmations and writing them, writing your prayers, etc., and then burning them.
Mm-hmm.
The same way for my Christian folks, the same way that back in the day, the folks used to offer offerings, right? You can think of smoke as an offering to spirit, as an offering to the earth, as an offering to the energy of the
Right.
ether to carry your words. It's a transmission, if you will. We about to run out of time, and I'm about to slide down this little fantasy land, and
Because
so
you
Oh,
getting into a whole bunch of paganism, which a bunch of
well,
Christians don't want to hear. But that's neither here nor there.
so we ain't talking
right.
about all of that.
Yeah,
That's why I said
yeah,
that
that's
we
neither here
keeping
nor
it
there.
simple. This is something that,
Mm-hmm.
but what, because I do have a lot of clients that are Christian, right? A lot of clients that are whatever. So this, I tried to create rituals that at the end of the day, no matter what your spiritual belief is, no matter what your religious or spiritual path is, these are things that you can take and tweak. Because regardless of what most people think, no matter what their path is, they're practicing ritual. They just don't call it that. They call it something different, right? And that's
No, yeah,
okay.
nah, it's fine. It's fine.
We're
I
just
appreciate the fact that you said hoodoo because that's what it is. There's no such thing as voodoo. That's a whole
Right.
nother discussion. But anyway,
okay. So let me get into the second one because I did want to make sure I gave one for money because I know that's a big thing on people's minds right now with all the
Right.
things happening in society, all the things just going all over the world with Orange Taco's ass up in office right now. So that being said, I want to give this reminder. It is much easier to create from a space of safety. And when you are in a financial crisis, when you're stressed about money, you likely do not feel safe. And I understand that. So, one of the things
Mm-hmm.
that you've got to work on when you're trying to incorporate ritual is to soothe your nervous system, whether that be to take a nap, whether that be to go for a walk, get a hug, say affirmations to yourself, soak in the tub, do whatever it takes for you to and bring
Right.
it down a notch. Because if you try to ritual in a state of heightened anxiety, it's possible, but it's going to be a lot harder. You're going to have to go through a lot of unnecessary shit to get what you want.
Mm-hmm.
So try to breathe and get yourself into as much of a space of
Clear
rest
of
and
a
calm as
space.
you can. Right. So
Mm-hmm.
this one is Money Has My Name. It used to have a different name, but we're gonna call it that for the sake of, the newbies.
Right.
Now, what you're gonna need is a simple green candle. Again, you can use tea lights, chimes, big candles, small candles. Don't matter. Get what the fuck makes sense for you. You can get a coin or a dollar bill, some cinnamon, and if you have crystals, a citrine or a pyrite or malachite or tiger's eye. I love rose quartz. Rose quartz is typically identified with love and it's really good for that. But I want love in everything I do. So I use love in my ritual work no matter what I'm working on. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot rub my palms together because, but you're going to take
Right.
your palms and rub them together.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to take
Such
some,
as this.
yeah, you're going to take some
Mm-hmm.
deep breaths and just breathe into your palms, warm that energy up. Once you
Mm-hmm.
feel like you can feel the intensity as you pull your hands further and further apart, and there's no break in that intensity. You've now
Mm-hmm.
tapped into yourself and called your energy up outside of yourself, right? A little bit more
Mm-hmm.
powerful. You're going to take that green candle and sprinkle just a pinch of cinnamon. Bitches, you ain't got to pour the whole bottle of cinnamon on the candle. Okay.
Ah, mess
Just
around and choke in there.
just a sprinkle of cinnamon from the below the wick down, because don't be like, why am I fire flickering? Because it's burning cinnamon. Start below the wick and just sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon on your candle. And you're going to rub it up and down, up and down, up and down. Take that motion and do what you will with that. That's all I'm
Shut
saying.
up, Sean. Sean was
I knew
Sean was
it.
like up
I
and
knew
down.
it.
I'm I'm just saying, you going up and
Up and
down.
down.
It ain't a candle, but I got something you can put some cinnamon on and you know what I'm saying. I'm just saying,
What 50 say? I got the magic stick. Okay.
basically.
Right,
But
right.
I'll take you to the candy shop for real. Trust me, I will.
So, with that being said, you're going to dress your candle. The reason I want you to dress it up and down is because you're mimicking flow. Y'all, just
And I didn't
I
even
can't
say
look.
that. I just laughed. I didn't even
I
say
can't
nothing.
look at Sean. I can't look at Sean. Go ahead, Jay.
so the
I'm
reason,
trying to look at you.
okay, the reason that you're stroking up and down, you're pulling energy.
Yeah. You say what now, girl? You stroking it up and down.
You couldn't use no other words. Like for real, you know who's on here with her. You couldn't use nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Choking was the one you had to use.
Go ahead.
so the reason I'm
Go
being silly with
go
this and kind of
ahead.
using the
You keep
gestures and the
talking.
articulation is because orgasmic energy is really powerful. And it ain't just got
Hell
to be
yeah.
during sex that you call that orgasmic energy. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
ladies, when you're doing this, think about the last time babe was whispering in your ear, growling at you a little bit, snatching on your hair. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
Guys,
that's true. That is true. I feel you. That is true. That is true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
guys, fellas,
yeah.
think about the last time she was slobbing the knob, or you was eating the cat, doing the cunnilingus, or you know what I'm saying, that you was just in it. You feel me? Pull that
Right.
feeling up for yourself. And then as you're stroking that candle, you're mimicking flow. You want money to flow. You don't want it to be stagnant in your life. It has to flow out in order to handle financial obligations, to pay bills, to buy things that you want and you need, that you desire, right? But it also has to flow in, and you want to be able to maintain some of it so that even as it flows out and all those things are handled, money is always coming in a circular motion. It's always coming to you, and it's always open, but that it also feels safe enough to stay with you. This is where you get
Mhm.
into legacy building. This is where
Gotcha.
you get into building wealth and bank account, balances growing and all those things, right? So again, that motion, you can even, yep. I'm gonna, I'm gonna keep it moving because
Mhm.
we almost out of time. I was really about to get deep with y'all and show y'all how I do it, but we'll do that another day. So sprinkle a pinch of cinnamon on there, stroke that candle and move that energy up and down. Then I want you to place your coin or your dollar bill on whatever surface you're going to use, or up underneath your plate. If the candle is a naked candle, right? You want to put it on top of a plate. I want you to burn the bottom of the candle just a little bit so that it can sit upright if it's a naked candle. If it's in glass, you're fine. Just sit your coin or your
Mhm.
money up under the candle. And then what you're going to do is this incantation 3 times, the power of threes. Money flows with ease. My work is worthy. My gifts are needed, and I am paid well for them. Whatever your gifts may be, whether it's your smile, whether it's your job, whether it's your business, whether you're paid to exist, whatever it is that you feel like you want money to be
Mhm.
attached to and to come into your life connected to, imagine that and think that as you're speaking it. And you repeat that 3 times. Now, to anchor this, I just want you to sit with that candle as it burns for me a few minutes and close your eyes. Sit in that orgasmic experience that you created when you were conjuring up those memories, and
Mhm.
just think of the ways that money is flowing to you. Think of the ways that money is existing for you. Think of those bills being paid in full. Think of that man cash apping you or selling you to get that dress that you wanted for your date, or to, hubby paying for the babysitter so y'all can have date night on Friday. Think of that woman, doing whatever she was doing with the money that you gave her. Pull it back so we can end this. All I'm saying is get into those fantasies, get into those thoughts, let it become slightly sexual
Mhm.
or overtly sexual, because the more you sit in orgasmic energy, the easier it is to feel safe when you're specifically working on money, because most people don't feel safe when they work on money. So that's a little tip
Right.
there for you, right? Get into that
Right.
orgasmic state while you're doing the work so that your nervous system settles and you feel good and more open to receive. And then you just let that candle burn. And as it burns out, you're just thinking of all the ways that it's showing up for you. And as always, I tell people, when you're ready to discard your remnants, just put it in a little bag and toss it in the trash. Let it be. I
But let
always
it
think,
take it out of the house.
well, if it's left-handed, if it's black magic, if it's baneful work, if it's something that you want to clear, discard it outside of the house. Put it in your outside trash can, depending on what it is, or take it away from your property and discard it, right?
Mhm.
If it's something that you're attracting, love magic, money magic, healing, well-being, it's fine. You could just bag it up and put it in your trash and let it be connected. But again, that's a tip for you. I had some more rituals, but we'll
Mhm.
go through that another time. But that's a tip for you. When you're ritualing, get into your orgasmic state, because you'll start to see the difference in how your body's feeling. You'll start to feel the physiological responses. You'll
Mhm.
feel your chest warm up. You'll feel your back relax. You'll feel the flush in your cheeks. You'll feel the giddiness come up when you're thinking about boo thing or the last time you pleasured yourself. It don't matter. Hey, whatever floats your boat, whatever works. Get into it and
Mhm.
let that energy resonate. And here's a tip that's also an NLP, what we call an anchor. When you
Right.
anchor an action to a feeling or
Mhm.
a memory, a lot of times people will do a physical anchor on their body. And again, that's something I can talk about on another episode if you're interested in that. But if you can anchor a feeling to a memory, a moment, or something that you want, every time you think about it, every time you feel it, you're drawing in more energy to call that thing forth and make it
Yep.
easier. right, I'm
All
ready to
right.
go. Love
All
y'all. It's
right.
been real.
I feel you. I'm just saying. What I heard was, ladies, I love the way you receive me, and I love the way you relieve me.
Come on through.
That's what I heard.
Right, right, right.
All I'm saying is I'm like an M&M. I melt in your mouth, but not in your hand.
Ooh,
Yeah, y'all heard that
ooh,
here first, fellas.
ooh. All right then. But remember to like, share, and subscribe.
Yes.
Remember
Fuck, fuck,
to
fuck.
go and watch our replays,
You watch
especially
everything,
those that had
motherfucker.
questions. Yeah, those that had questions, go back and watch some of the replays, and I'm pretty sure your questions will be answered.
Yes.
And as usual, we'll catch you live again next Monday.
Every Monday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Look at Sean. Did you go back
Trying to
to your
look
hood
relax.
days, Sean? What just happened? Like,
I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying.
Sean zoned on us, and he was like, "Yeah, boy."
it just had to come up and out. I ain't mad at you. Hey, do what you
Right.
do. And make sure that you click that little bell button underneath the videos, and that way, you can get notified every time we go live or when we post reels and shorts, things like that. Not reels,
That's why
shorts.
I don't understand. I don't understand how you don't subscribe. How you don't get the notices? Like, come on now.
And
That
don't
don't
be
make no
texting us
sense.
in the middle of the show asking questions about, well, could you say this? No, get your butt in the chat and ask those same
I don't
questions.
respond anymore. I used to.
Right.
I don't do it now. I be like, that's why y'all be seeing me on my phone constantly, like because I'm getting the what about
Yep.
getting the
We don't
comments
even
or
we don't
yeah.
even yep, we might revisit it later on, but no, for the most part, no, we're not doing that because
Yeah.
we're going into a new year. Do some new stuff. If you want new results, you're gonna have to do the new thing.
Here's Nadina. She said, Happy New Year, everyone. 2026. Here we come. Hell yeah. And make sure that you look ahead. We've already got the next upcoming video on the channel. So make sure that you check that out as well. Make sure that you
Hmm.
tell your people because I'm convinced if you're not telling them, you don't really like them like that. That's all I'm saying. And
And make sure you get in our inbox.
make sure you
Get
get
in
nothing
our
about
inbox.
our next upcoming video on I believe it's January 5th is holiday hangovers. Did you leave that shit in 2020 motherfucking 5 or did you drag it with you into
That.
2026? We're going to talk about it. We're going to break it down. If you are interested in what we just talked about tonight, I gave y'all some very minimal base stuff about ritual, but it is something I get questions about all the time. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, we could definitely weave it more into some of our topics. Just let us know
Hmm.
and we will do that. I will say for 2026, we're gonna be talking about a lot more sex because that's the thing I've been getting like, Jay, you a whole motherfucking expert in these streets. You need to be talking about sex more. And I was like, say less. So we're
I
gonna be talking
mean,
about sex more in 2026.
fellas, if y'all want to get y'all pimp game together, y'all need to ask some goddamn questions.
Facts. Wait a
That.
minute. Y'all can't be lurking in the shadows. Get your ass in the comments to ask the questions too. That being said, like,
And get
share,
you a burner account
comment,
if you
subscribe.
don't want anybody to know that it's you. Get you a burner YouTube
Basically,
account.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it under your regular YouTube. I mean, come on, get creative. Go ask AI if you don't know how to do it. Anyway.
Scratch my gum. Anywho, we love y'all. What did Tevin Campbell say? Audi 5000.
Happy New
Hey,
Year.
peace, happy New Year.
Happy New Year, y'all.